Hello, welcome to this brief overview of what is involved in literacy development. First, let's go back tens of thousands of years to when humans first moved from communicating using gestures and noises to using language. If two people witnessed a scene, such as, for example, a large animal running in the distance with its young ones following behind it, they could speak to each other about it. While one person spoke, the other could listen, and vice versa. Later on, when those two people returned to their home, excited to tell their family and friends about the scene they had witnessed, they wanted to convey the picture in their mind to the minds of the listeners. They used spoken language to describe the scene, trying to make it as similar as possible to the original scene. Over time, humans developed increasingly detailed and complex language in order to be able to communicate such scenes with great precision and ease. And over time, we also developed the ability to picture in our minds things that cannot be seen. Abstract ideas and concepts such as love and truth and happiness. We still communicate about these abstract things today, potentially helping others picture them as symbols and using graphic organizers or schemas to convey our ideas to others. Whatever the form of the picture in our minds, we can call it a mental representation. Mental representations can be described using spoken language. Over time, humans also wanted to be able to communicate with people who were not in the same time or place. This happened earlier on with forms of communication such as cave drawings, left for future generations to see, but eventually we also developed the ability to communicate across time and space using written symbols that were created to represent spoken language. So let's turn back to thinking about those mental representations now. If you start out with a picture in your mind, and you translate it into spoken language, describing the picture in your mind using language, what action are you doing? You are speaking. Then, if you take that spoken language and translate it into written symbols, writing down a representation of the spoken language, what are you doing? Well, you're writing, and more specifically, because our writing system is a code made up of the alphabet and punctuation marks, you are really encoding. Going in the opposite direction, if you start out with written symbols on a page, look at them and figure out what they say in spoken language, producing speech either in your mind or actually out loud, what are you doing? You are decoding. Then, if you take that spoken language and use it to create a picture in your mind or a mental representation of the meaning of the spoken language, then you are comprehending what was said. You are using the same skills involved as those in listening comprehension. So let's go back over now to written symbols and imagine that you are looking at some written symbols, turning them into spoken language, and then turning that spoken language into a mental representation. That is reading. In order to read, we must go all the way across, from written symbols through spoken language to a mental representation. Going in the opposite direction, if we start out with a picture in our minds or an idea that we want to convey, and then we describe that picture using spoken language, and then we write that picture down using written symbols, what are we doing? We are writing. Writing involves going all the way from the mental representation through spoken language to producing the written symbols on the page. All that you see here, this literacy schema, shows how reading and writing are related, and it shows that there are many skills involved in developing literacy. To help people become maximally proficient readers and writers, we can directly and systematically teach them each of the aspects shown here, and all the sub-skills involved when we expand each of these three bubbles, the mental representations, the spoken language, and the written symbols. All of this boils down to this. Communication is about getting the picture in the speaker's mind into the listener's mind. We can do this through speaking and listening or through reading and writing. A literacy schema like this can help us to identify people's strengths and weaknesses so that we can help them strengthen their weak areas. That is what I love to help students and teachers learn to do. Thank you for watching and listening today. I hope this presentation has helped to convey the picture in my mind to your mind.